Hello, and today we are going to do a very important part of the grammar, and that is sentence. So, we have sentence in front of us. Without wasting any time, without further ado, let's get on to it. So, what is a sentence? A group of words is called a sentence, right? For example, jungle in elephant, nice sea is bottle. It is a group of words, right? Jungle in elephant, nice sea is bottle. These are all words, right? And the group is called sentence. Yes. But does that make sense to you? Does it make any sense? No, right? So this is not what it is. A group of words which makes complete sense is called a sentence, right? For example, India is a nuclear superpower. Now, it also has 5 words, but their placement makes sure that this is a legible and understandable a phrase, and that is why this is a sentence. So basically, there are levels to it. The first, well, we have words, of course. So a word is a meaningful sound or combination of sounds that is a unit of language or its representation in a text, right? So even this is a word. A word is a word, right? A sentence, a group of words that has a complete and independent thought. Words are not sentences. They are in some cases, but usually they're not. Now, this is a sentence, right? And paragraph is a group of related sentences that express one single idea or main topic. I started writing with words and I keep going on. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. And then I stop there. So, this I've written a whole paragraph, right? So, this is the difference between words, sentence, and a paragraph. Moving on, how do you make a sentence, right? So, there are, let's discuss parts of sentence. There are 2 parts of a sentence. When you make a sentence, you name a person or a thing, that is called a subject, and you tell something about the person or a thing, and that is called a predicate. So the basic 2 parts of a subject are of a sentence are subject and the predicate. So the girl washed her clothes. Here the girl is the subject and washed her clothes is the predicate, right? Let's see some more sentences. Let's understand subject and predicate better with them. So the subject is the doer of an action. Anything that happens on the person or the thing's end, that is, whatever the verb is referring to, that is the subject. So the sun rises in the east. In this sentence, the sun is the subject, and that would make rises in the east the predicate. Similarly, predicate is the area, the portion that tells something about a subject. For here, Aaron serves his parents. So serves his parents is the predicate. Meanwhile, Aaron is the subject. That's correct, right? So this is how subject and predicate works. The noun, usually the noun is the subject, and apart from that, everything else that follows is predicate, right? So basically, a subject is the doer of the action or the one being talked about in the sentence. All subjects are either nouns, pronouns, gerunds, infinitives, or clauses, and are placed before or after the verb, right? So Jane went home late. Now this is the predicate. Jane is the subject. She is the doer. Myla is the smartest student in our class. So Myla is not doing something, but she is being talked about, right? So Myla here would be the subject, and this is the predicate. Predicate is basically information about the subject, right? So it is composed of a group of words that states what the subject does or is. So even if they are doing it or they are talking about it, they are being talked about, you know. So that is part of the predicate. For example, the ones that we saw earlier, Jane here was the subject and went home late. So what she did, she went home late. Therefore, this part is the predicate. Myla is the smartest student in the class. What is she? She is the smartest student in the class. So this is again the predicate, and Myla and Jane respectively are the subjects here, right? So this is what a sentence is composed of: a subject and a predicate. Now, obviously, we have the question, so what all kind of sentences can we have? Let's get on to that. The kinds of sentences. So we have declarative sentences, we have interrogative sentences, we have imperative sentences, we have exclamatory sentences, we have negative sentences, and we have optative sentences. Confused? Don't worry, we'll be discussing all of them in the next slides. First, a declarative sentence, a sentence that makes a statement or assertion. It's also called affirmative or assertive sentence. All right, something that declares that, yeah, I've said this, this is the truth, nothing but the truth, and this stands as it is. So, to denote these declarative sentences, a period or a full stop is used after the end of the sentence. All right. For example, he goes to school daily. Now, this is a statement. As simple as that. He said it, we are accepting it, and here it is denoted with a full stop. So every sentence that is just a statement or an assertion, or something that is confirming something, affirming something, they are all termed under declarative sentences. Interrogative. Now, interrogative sentences ask a question, so they will always use a question mark. Do you know what interrogative sentences are? I just asked you, and that is also an interrogative sentences. Where do you live? What time do you get up in the morning? What is your name? Is it raining? Did you go to school yesterday? All of these are interrogative sentences. Now, imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences express command, advice, or request, right? Something that has a touch of imperiality about it. It is an imperative sentence. For example, pick up your book. Now, this is an order. Clean your room. This is again a command, right? If you look at some other examples, go ahead. It's a command. Speak the truth. It's an advice. And please give me your book. Now, this one is a request simply because please is added to it. So, any of these, a command, an advice, or a request, if any of them are being used, they are all classified under imperative sentences. Next up, we have exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences show strong feelings or emotions, something that is not usually, that does not come naturally or usually to you. So they will always use an exclamation mark. Hurrah, we have won the World Cup. Alas, Samir's father died. Oh, I've lost my pen. Wow, it's a beautiful day. Yay, I won the lottery. So all of these are exciting statements or strong feelings, strong statements. So all of them come with an exclamation mark, and these are called exclamatory sentences. Next up, we have negative sentence. So what is a negative sentence? I'm guessing you already know. A negative sentence is used to negate or deny something. It's not happening. See, negative sentence. This is not your book. Negative sentence. I'm not going to Mumbai. Negative sentence. I was never gone more than a couple of hours. Negative sentence. Neither me nor Ravi did this. Negative sentence. Anything that comes with negated sound, a negated voice, that is a negative sentence. Optative sentence. Now, an optative sentence is an extension of exclamatory, but it is different because it's used to either pray or wish. So, may God bless you, may his soul rest in peace, many happy returns of the day, may you be blessed. All of these, anything that is a prayer or a wish, comes under optative sentences. Now, how do you form these sentences? I mean, how do you change one type of sentence into another, right? So when you change something, when you're undergoing sentence formation, and this will come up in the exams as well, when you're changing your sentences, do remember that the meaning or essence of the sentence should remain the same. For example, if I have this two sentences, Ram likes music and Sham likes music, I have to use and with it. So I'll just say both Ram and Sham like music. The meaning does not change, but the type of sentence has changed. Similarly, Rakul is the tallest girl in a class, and if I have to change it into positive degree, remember degree of adjectives, this is what it is. If I have to change it to positive degree, I'll say that no other girl in her class is as tall as a Rakul, right? So this is how you change a sentence from one type to another. Let's see some different examples and how do we go about their cases. For example, if you are interchanging degree of adjective, there are three degrees of adjective, right? Positive, comparative, and superlative. So the third one is superlative. We'll see about that also. Maybe in the very next slide is if possible. But yeah, starting out. So there are three ways in which you can compare. First is you begin with as and use another as, like Ramesh is as wise as his father. This is a positive degree. And when I have to, change it to comparative, I'll use ER, like Ramesh is not wiser than his father. Similarly, so as is another format. Ram is not so wise than Ravi or as Ravi, right? And again, it becomes Ravi is wiser than Ram. This Ravi becomes the subject, Ram becomes the object, right? And no other is blah 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 as blah 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 as blah. No other boy in the class runs as fast as Samuel. So this is the positive degree, and Samuel is faster than any other boy in the class. This is the comparative degree, right? So this is how you change it. You use the comparative degree and you remove the as, so than, or no other blah blah as, all right? So replace that. And if I'm interchanging degrees, then have a look at it. This is the most beautiful building in a town. This is a superlative, okay, because it has used the word most. This building is more beautiful than any other building in our town. This is a comparative sentence because it is used more. And no other building is as in our town is as beautiful as this is. So we do not have anything before beautiful. So in a beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. This is how you have learned it, right? So this is the positive degree. Similarly, strong, stronger, strongest, right? So Sundar is the strongest man in the village becomes a superlative. Sundar is stronger than any other man becomes comparative. And no other man in the village is so strong as Ramesh becomes positive degree, right? Next up. Now, we have to remove the adverb to. A lot of time we'll have to do that because it does not sound very good. She is too old to climb up the tree. Okay, fine. The rod is too hot to touch. Great. But the questions will come where you'll have to remove them. So in those cases, when you remove the adverb to, you'll have to add the conjunction pair so and that, right? For example, she is too old to climb up the tree. I'll convert it into she is so old that she cannot climb up the tree, right? The rod is too hot to touch. The rod is so hot it cannot be touched, right? I have omitted that from here. So this is how you remove the adverb to, right? Pretty easy. Nothing much to fret about. We'll do some more in the assignment section. Now, affirmative to negative sentences. Affirmative sentences are something that are positive, that will say something in a positive note. Negative sentences are some things that are told in the manner of being negated in a negative note, right? So always add a negative word, no, never, none, not, before in the sentence and just after the helping verb, and also use opposites of the root word, right? For example, Mr. Sharma is a rich man. This is an affirmative sentence. Mr. Sharma is not a poor man. See, the meaning has to remain the same. It's just that you have to change the format of the sentence, all right? So Mr. Sharma is a rich man and Mr. Sharma is not a poor man. Technically, they mean the same. It's just that this one is an affirmative sentence while this one is a negative one. I'm always on time is an affirmative sentence. I am never late is a negative sentence, right? So use antonyms of these words if need be, but always remember to use negative words. Always remember to add negative words after helping verb. Next up, from assertive to interrogative, right? If the assertive sentence is an affirmative, uh, like assertive sentences, right? Some things that are sentences that are simply statements. So if it's an affirmative one, if it's a positive one, then the change should be in negative interrogative. If I'm changing to interrogative, right? So he was very kind. It's an assertive sentence. Wasn't he very kind? This is interrogative, right? Uh, we won. We lost the match. Didn't we lose the match? Yeah? So this is what happens. And if it is already in the negative, then you have to simply remove the negative word before you change it. Like I can't forget you. You have to replace can't with its opposite, that is can. So how can I forget you? Now this becomes an interrogative uh, sentence, while earlier it used to be an assertive one, right? Last but not least, we have exclamatory to assertive sentences. So Very simple, just simply add exclamatory verbs, words to it, like very, indeed, wish, truly, great, etc. Like how fast she moves, this is an exclamatory sentence, and she moves very fast. Becomes dull is just a statement, but yeah, this is how it is. So it becomes an assertive statement, assertive sentence. Similarly, what a movie is an exclamatory sentence. It is a great work of cinema is an assertive or declarative sentence. So that is how you change sentences from one form to another. Let's have a look again. A group of words which makes complete sense is called a sentence. A meaningful sound or a combination of sounds that is a unit of language or its representation in a text is called a word. And a group of related sentences that express one single idea or main topic is called a paragraph. A sentence has two forms, the subject, two parts, the subject and the predicate. The subject is the doer of an action, and the predicate is something that tells you about the subject, right? And it's composed of words that state what the subject does or is. There are six kinds of sentences: declarative, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory, negative, and optative. Declarative sentences are statements or assertions, they use a full stop. Interrogative sentences ask a question, they use a question mark. Imperative sentences express command, advice, or request, so be careful with these ones. Exclamatory sentences show strong feelings, extreme emotions, and they'll always use an exclamation mark. Negative sentences used to negate or deny something, so they'll always have negative words in them like never, not, nil, none. And optative sentences are used to pray or wish, they will also carry exclamation marks, right? And then you can simply change various forms of sentences from one form to another vis-a-vis the rules that we have learned right now. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Don't forget to do the assignments, we have much more to do, so I just hope you're keeping up the pace. Right, I'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Have a good day.